thanks to the supporters and channel members, Space Shower Television. Absolutely, this is the year. I know you're happy just getting to the first knockout round every year because that manages to keep your restaurant chain afloat. Enough money flows in for that, but some of us have got aspirations of winning this. I reckon, just to let you behind the curtain a little bit, Mrs Wearmouth, if that's okay, I reckon we've probably got 4 or 5 seasons left before FM21 comes out. So we are on a little bit of a time frame now. We need a strong start. Zenit and Porto, they're 2 teams we should be beating. I want to be top of this group by the end of this episode. Hello and welcome to part 103 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have those first 2 Champions League group games at home against Zenit St. Petersburg and away against FC Porto. Since you were last with me, I think we've only played 1 game. We continued our pre-season start to the season tactic of just thumping everybody. So we've had a 4-0, a 5-0 and a 5-0 now. So the league table is looking very snazzy. What's also looking snazzy is that Sonny is starting to step up and is in the goals. We turned down a lot of big offers from big clubs for Sonny in the summer. I know a lot of people didn't rate him when we sold Alan and said we were going with Sonny, but look at the clubs that are after him now. Sonny is going places. He's a 5-star potential Brazilian wonder kid who's got 3 goals and 2 assists from his first 2 games this season. There's something in this boy, and I'm very excited to see it develop. Sanchez also in the goals. Now we've given him the massive confidence boost of making him club captain, keeping him at the club. He'll be here for his career now, although now, of course, is the time that River Plate, the club that he came from originally. Oh, in fact, he's the one Argentinian who didn't come from River. Well, hopefully that won't be a pull to bring him back. In my head, they all came from River. Obviously, Sanchez came the year before, but Lencina, Cordoba, Milo, Tennessee. Have I missed one? They all came from River. Oh, Acosta. I'm pretty sure they all came from River at pretty much the same time. Sanchez must have been the year before. But let's not worry about that. Let's worry about trying to beat Zenit St. Petersburg, which we should be able to do. Richard is slowly but surely getting back to fitness. He's not fit to start. He's got 89% condition and 52% match fitness. So if we're well ahead, we might have a little look at Richard today. But we're going with Carnevali up front because Sonny, despite my high praise before the episode begun, he's injured. So Sonny's not available to play. Calapita's also injured and Chermont suspended for this game. So we're going with Tennessee in goal, a back four of Kansarovic, Bilbao, Hernandez and Solozano, Milo at the base of the midfield, Dominguez and Leica ahead of him, Sanchez, Carnevali and Pedraza as the front 3. I know Duffy is still here. As you can see, Duffy is sat down on the bench and in fact, he's not even on the bench. He's sat there. I said I'll just let him fester in the reserves. I have no interest in playing Paul Duffy at the moment until he removes himself from the transfer list. This had to be the season Leica stepped up. Leica has stepped up. We've got Bruman, we've got Font who came in the summer. We don't need Paul Duffy anymore. And if we're not going to be able to get our £40 million for him, which we learnt on yesterday's episode, we're not going to get £40 million for him. So if we're taking a loss on Paul Duffy, I'm stubborn enough to take a £40 million loss and just keep him here from 2 years not playing. And that'll teach him a lesson. I'm not sure what lesson it will teach him. It will ruin his career, but it will serve him right for being a bumhead. Right. in before he starts both games against Barcelona because Leica and Dominguez are injured and he's the superstar. And my resolve will only hold so far. Milo from range. What a goal. 2 minutes on the clock and Augustin Milo has opened the scoring for us, which should put us top of the group, albeit briefly. Barcelona playing Porto, which I assume should be a Barcelona win. Although I guess if it's in Portugal, Porto might fancy their chances of maybe getting something from it. I imagine Porto are going to look at that the same way I'm looking at the Barcelona matches that we're going to have in tomorrow's episodes, in that if we can beat Barcelona at home, the rest of the group kind of takes care of itself. And we have beaten Barcelona in the past. We've beaten them in the Wearmouth Cup multiple times, although this summer, unfortunately, they did win the Wearmouth Cup. So there's that. They've beaten us at our place relatively recently. Milo to Solozano, who has been looking very bright in the early league games. We've got this Solozano of 2 years ago back, I think. We can keep him fit. He is going to be a nightmare for defenders as he just runs and runs and runs, as he's showing there. He's supposed to be playing right back and was basically alongside Milo as a second holding midfield player there, which is problematic when these breakaways happen and we're chasing and chasing and chasing, trying to stop Zenit from getting a counter-attack up and running. And I think we've done a very good job there. of getting ourselves organised again and winning the ball back. Carnivale missing out on the ball, though, on the halfway line, and I'm fully blaming Carnivale for that because the rest of the team did so well to get themselves back positioned and do some good pressing, but it comes to Carnivale here, and he's got to do better. And then, obviously, it's a spectacular worldie that there's not a lot we can do about this. There's no blaming Tennessee there, but I think Carnivale has to do a little bit better when the ball comes to him on the halfway line there. And I know I've given Carnivale a lot of time and a lot of opportunity, and I do rate Carnivale, but I do think his days as a starting striker for us in the Champions League are probably numbered. Solorzano is in here, but his shot on his weak foot is straight at the Zenit goalkeeper. With Sonny and Richard both returning to fitness imminently, I would probably put them as my 1 and 2 as my starting strikers from now on. And Carnivale is just going to have to be an attacking utility man in the same way as our previous Italian attacker, Marola, was before him. Just come in and offer some cover across the front three as and when it's needed. Pedrazza has put us 2-1 up there after 8 minutes. It looks like there's going to be goals today. We've had 63% of the possession. We've grabbed our second of the day. Sanchez involved with the cross over to Pedrazza, who picks him out nicely, and it's just a tidy little finish for him for his second goal of the season. Sanchez, he really is enjoying being club captain. He has stepped up and he's having a very good season so far. He's back in the goals. As you can see, he's been instrumental in the assists today. I'm enjoying having my Claudio Sanchez back. I think history will prove me right for favouring him over Lencina, even though it was Lencina who originally came in and kind of pushed him out of the team. Hernandez grabs our third on 16 minutes, and that should be enough to take away the little scare that we got when Zenit got their equaliser. But at 3-1 up after 20 minutes, I'd like to think we should be relatively cruising for the rest of the game. We can grab another one before half-time. That'd be quite nice. It would be nice to be able to give Richard maybe half an hour in the second half just to try and get some match fitness into him. I don't know how likely it is to happen, especially if Zenit score with their second shot of the game. They don't even get their second shot of the game, and it's Leica with the counter-attack. He's got Carnivale who's drifted out to the left to make space for Leica. It was some lovely movement from Carnivale, but it did leave Leica with no one up there supporting him, and his shot not quite what you'd expect it to be. But you know what? Paul Duffy couldn't do what Leica just did. He would have looked for the pass. Right. Don't let performance levels drop. All that kind of stuff. And we kick off for the second half, and it's back with Leica again in midfield. That shaving foam has stayed on the pitch for ages just there. Carnivale in here. I think he's been fouled there, hasn't he? Apparently not. Not only did it look like he'd been fouled, there's a question whether or not the ball's gone over the line there. The ball definitely hasn't gone over the line. I would be more interested in taking a look at whether or not Carnivale is fouled, because I think he was. The ball is cleared by a Greek player for Zenit. I've just noticed Retsos playing for them. Sanchez playing it into Leica. Leica with the chance to shoot from here, plays it back into Sanchez, and that's definitely a penalty this time. It's been coming. Goodness me, they've been rough. The ref's going over the little telly. It seems entirely unnecessary. Definitely a penalty. Come on, referee. Get a wriggle on. I've not got all day. Ref, we get a penalty here? Ref. This is what I'm shouting at him from there. He's loving it. And we do have the penalty. I'm not sure. I think Leica's my penalty taker now. I think Richard is my main penalty taker, but with him not in the team, Leica took a penalty for me in the league. So I think he is my designated penalty taker. So it is Leica to step up to make it 4. The ref's taking his time to get back, and he does make it 4. And that should be that at this point. Richard, get out there warming up. You're going to play a lot of this second half as we get to have a first proper look at you. And we'll just have a little look at the replay of the penalty. It's a very solid penalty. He hits it hard, straight down the middle. Keeper's not stopping that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And as soon as we hit the half-hour mark, we bring in Richard on. I think that is a nice little half an hour of football to give him time to get some match fitness in. We're also going to take off Dominguez and bring on Font, who has been looking very impressive since arriving. I like those two that way round usually. And Solorzano, I'm just keeping an eye on. We probably don't. I've just realised it's only the hour mark. We probably don't need to do a triple substitution with half an hour to go. But we are keeping an eye on Solorzano's fitness levels. We've got Jair down on the bench who can just slot straight into that position. And I think we'll do that change now. Just get Jair on there and put Hernandez to right back and Jair in the middle, which is what I've started doing when I make that change. Hernandez at 5'10", He's a right back. It's the Calapetis discussion all over again. At 5'10", you're never going to convince me he's a centre back, not a right back. Even though I play him at centre back all the time, long term he's a right back. Jair, 6'1", I think. Jair's my centre back, and there is number 5, and it's Leica. And who's Paul Duffy? I don't remember Paul Duffy being at the club. He was the closest we had to someone becoming a legend, I think. He's ruined it all with not just this summer, the last 2 or 3 summers. He's been a nightmare. And I think history will show, a lot of history being made today. History will show that as soon as Paul Duffy leaves or stops being a part of the team, that's when this team moves on to greatness. I think it's Duffy holding us back. I think his mental attitude is wrong. Tennessee playing it forward to Sanchez as we look for number 6. Sanchez has got Kansarovic on the overlap here. Kansarovic has time to pick across. He does pick the cross. It's Font who nods it down to Hernandez, whose shot he couldn't keep it down. He's a centre-back playing at right back. What more could you want from him? I told you he was a centre-back. We're shooting like that. Goodness me. Right, here is Hernandez, once again proving that he's been a fullback all along as he plays it into Leica. He's continued on the overlap here, but Leica's decided to switch the play over to Kansarovic, who's in space on the other side, and shoots. And Font is the first to the rebound, and it's the second goal of the season for Robert Font. And like I say, we don't need Duffy. We've got replacements all through this team. Brewman, not even on the bench today. We have got a lot of talent in central midfield now, where we don't need to keep a grumpy 27-year-old hanger-on who can go. I mean, I'm not telling him to Tottenham on principle. If he wants to go and play for a mid-table Premier League team and not be in Europe, or if he wants to go to China, he's welcome to either of them. Otherwise, I'm not getting it. He's not getting what he wants after what he's done. But there you go. 6-1 as an opening Champions League game. Nothing to complain about here. How did Barcelona get on? We probably should have looked at that. Barcelona. Did they only draw? At home as well. Well, we've just sent a message to the rest of our group today. Apollon mean business this year. Couple more league wins later, and I tell you what, this guy's good. Raymer Williams, 6'4". Every one of his headers that he scored has been, every one of his goals that he scored has been a header. But he's got 4 goals from 3 starts in the league. It's not going to be long before this boy is pushing Pedraza out of my Champions League team as well. But he's in some form at the moment, boys and girls. It's like early Sanchez, when Sanchez was just scoring headers constantly that season, I think, when he was just absolutely lethal in the air for us. And it is quite funny, our front three, when we've got Carnevali up there, and Williams and Sanchez either side, you've got Carnevali at 5'6" as our centre forward, and our wingers are both 6'4". I like to live in opposite land. This is the team for the Porto game, though. Richard still not fully fit to come back in. To be fair, neither Sonny. I'm probably going to take Sonny off and swap Richard over at some point during the game. We'll start with Sonny because we know what we get with Sonny, whereas with Richard, he still doesn't know the language and he's still not scored a goal for us. He's barely played for us. So we'll start with Sonny and go from there. Tennessee in goal. A back four of Chermont, Bilbao, Hernandez and Solorzano. Milo at the base of the midfield. Dominguez and Leica ahead of him. And then Sanchez, Sonny and Pedraza are the front three. Yes, I know Sonny's not fully match fit. Neither's Richard. And Carnevali he's not a Champions League striker. I've ruled him out now as well. He's a solid league player for us. But Champions League, he is not the one. Let's see if Sonny can tear up Porto a little bit. This is it. I'm not entirely sure what a good result's going to be in this game. Obviously, a win would be a very good result, but this lot just held Barcelona to a 0-0 in the first game, so they're probably quite good. So I'm imagining if we come here and get a draw, I guess we go back to old school Champions League group progression of if we can win our 3 home games, draw our 3 away games, we'll get through. It's just winning the home game against Barcelona is going to be a challenge. So kind of feel like we need to beat Porto away to balance that out, or else it's going to be very tight between us and Porto. It could potentially come down to which one of us wins by the bigger amount in our home game. But Sonny has just grabbed the opening goal of the game, his 4th for the season. Looks like he can do it in the Champions League, boys and girls. Lovely stuff from Sonny. Of course, it's a long throw. This is how we do these things. But it's a long throw that eludes everybody, bounces into the path of Sonny, who just tucks it away nicely to put us 1-0 up. I've noticed in the other game, Barcelona are already 3-0 up over Zenit. There's 20 minutes on the clock. Poor old Zenit. They've already conceded 6 against us. They're going to get absolutely smashed by Barcelona, aren't they? They may as well give up and go home now. This is a 3-horse race. And if we can hold on to this lead, we might be able to fairly early on make it into a 2-horse race, which would be very, very handy because 2 horses win. It doesn't matter which horse we are. But Porto have got hold of the ball in midfield here, and we need to be alert. They've obviously, that's Pedro de la Vega. He just broke my heart. Apollon old boy Pedro de la Vega. He's still got it, it seems. Oh, how I remember him doing this. Picking the ball up on the left-hand side, cutting inside around the fullback, and then just smashing it on his right foot. He was the first of our big money sales. And, I mean, he left because we had Claudio Sanchez coming through, so we didn't need him anymore, theoretically. But it looks like he's gone from strength to strength and has just scored against us, and nothing makes me sadder. It's a bit of a old boys reunion group because we've got Ryan Lawson coming up in the Barcelona games. We've picked up 2 knocks in that first half, which is not ideal. We're going to make 2 halftime changes to accommodate it. We were probably always going to bring Richard on at halftime for Sonny, but Sonny's picked up another injury. Probably shouldn't have played him. Solorzano, also proving to be quite injury prone, has picked up an injury as well. So we're going to bring on Stuart Smith for him. Smith's going to go into centre back with Hernandez going out to right back again. It's far from ideal having to make a double substitution at half time like this, but needs must. We've got to protect our players. And Richard's getting a full 45 minutes now. So this is his opportunity to show us what we spent all that money on. We broke our no, never, never rule for Richard. So let's see if he was worth it. He's taking the free kick here, crosses in towards Bilbao. He's 6'6", don't you know? And his header goes just over. Is Williams on the bench? Williams is on the bench. I'm wondering if it might be the time for Williams to come on and just try his luck in the Champions League because he's in such good form. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at Williams and just see if he can grab one of these headers that he's been getting constantly in the league. Here's an opportunity. A long throw from Chermont. There is Williams, who's been fouled, and we've won a penalty. Williams was lurking. They were afraid of him. The throw is directly at him, and they've just shoved him in the back. Referee, this is a nailed-on penalty. I don't know what you're going to give if you don't give a penalty here, because it is absolutely nailed on. You've gone to the little telly now. Got to be a penalty. Richard is on the pitch as well, who is our penalty taker. So it's an opportunity for Richard's first ever goal for Apollon. He could be a hero or a villain here. This is where everyone makes up their mind about Richard and will never change their mind. So to put us 2-1 up over Porto, here's Richard, and you're all going to love him. I was afraid for a minute there, but it's his second goal. When did he? Has he scored in a league game? He's certainly not scored in a game that I've been commentating on. It'll be one of those 6-0s where I wasn't really paying attention because I was editing another video at the same time. I'm a busy man. Well, there we go. Richard has scored, and we've now got another long throw opportunity. It's Hernandez from this side again, aiming for Williams, who again is so dangerous in the air. I love Williams already. I know Pedraza's just forced Lencina out of the club. It's like what was happening on our left wing 5 years ago. I keep signing a better version of the right winger, and I love Williams. Sanchez is in here. I should have pushed that across goal for Richard. I'm not really sure. I know Sanchez is looking for glory here, but Richard is in space, and he should have found him. But it's another long throw. Chermont this time again looking for Williams. I'm having so much fun with Williams being an absolute nightmare to handle from these set pieces. And we have picked up a victory. It's so weird because I hate playing with a target man. If you offered me a 6'4" striker, I wouldn't be interested. Give me a 6'4" winger. Yes, please. That sounds like I'll have a lot of fun with it. But more importantly, I've just had a lot of fun winning our first 2 group games in the Champions League, which puts us in a very strong position going into our double header against Barcelona, which is going to be coming up tomorrow. If we can come out of that with 1 point, 1 point would be fine, because then we should feel confident beating Zenit and Porto in the reverse fixtures. Let's just not get battered by Barcelona. That's the job for tomorrow. Don't get battered. And say hello to Ryan Lawson as well. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.